I needed extra cash, badly. My tuition was due, and my bank account was looking sadder than a rainy Monday. So, when the ad for a babysitting gig popped up, offering triple my usual rate, I didn't even hesitate. No questions asked. Big mistake. Huge. The house was one of those glass and steel monsters, perched on a hill like it was judging the rest of the world. Beautiful, sure, but cold. Empty. The kind of place where you'd feel like a ghost, even when you were totally alive. Mrs. Carter, all diamonds and sharp angles, tossed her purse over her shoulder. "Ethan's already fed and bathed," she said, her smile not quite reaching her eyes. "We'll be back by midnight." And then they were gone, leaving me alone in that giant glass castle with their 8-year-old son, Ethan. Ethan was a quiet kid, even for his age. When I told him it was bedtime, he just climbed into bed, pulled the covers up to his chin, and stared at me with these big, unblinking eyes. My hand was on the light switch when he whispered, "He always comes when they leave. He likes girls like you." I froze. "Who, sweetie?" He just closed his eyes. No matter how much I asked, he wouldn't say another word. It totally freaked me out. I went back to the living room and tried to read my textbook, but every creak of the house made me jump. Then, exactly at 9 o'clock, the doorbell rang. My heart slammed against my ribs. I looked at the security monitor. A man stood at the door, wearing a perfect suit, perfect hair, smiling right into the camera like he knew I was watching. "Hi, Lisa," he said when I pressed the intercom. His voice was smooth, too smooth. "I'm Daniel, Ethan's uncle. I already told Rachel we just grab some files from the study and leave." My stomach churned. Nobody told me anyone else was coming. "Call her if you want," he said, still smiling. "She'll tell you it's fine." So I did. Mrs. Carter answered on the second ring. "Oh, Daniel. He's family. It's fine," she said, laughing, but her voice was tight. Against every screaming instinct in my body, I opened the door. Daniel was taller than I expected. "Thank you," he said, brushing past me, his arm grazing mine. "This won't take long," but it did. Minutes stretched into forever. When I finally went to check on him, he was just sitting in the study, not doing anything, just staring. "Found everything you need?" I asked, my voice shaking a little. Daniel slowly stood up, walking closer. "That's a lovely scent you're wearing." He sniffed, grinning. "Reminds me of someone." My blood ran cold. "You must be a student," he said, taking another step closer. "College is expensive, isn't it?" I nodded, backing away slowly. He reached into his jacket and pulled out a thick stack of cash, tossing it onto the desk. $15,000, he said, licking his lips. "All for a night with me." I couldn't breathe. "I think you should leave." "Don't be difficult," he said, stepping closer. "We both know you need the money." "Get out or I'll call the police," I said, reaching for my phone. His hand shot out, grabbing my wrist with crushing force. "No, you won't," he hissed. I tried to yank my arm back and screamed, but his grip just tightened. "Scream all you want, Lisa. No one's coming. They never do. You're mine." I didn't think. I couldn't. I drove my knee up hard, aiming for anything, and bolted for the front door. It wouldn't budge. The security panel blinked red. Wrong code. Behind me, Daniel laughed, a low, terrible sound. I ran to the kitchen, yanking open drawers until I found a knife. His footsteps were slow, deliberate, like he was enjoying the chase. "7 girls before you," he boasted. None of them were missed for days. I pointed the knife at him, my hand shaking. "Stay back." He smiled, walking forward. The last one had dark hair, too. I threw the knife, not to kill, just to distract, and bolted up the stairs. Ethan's room was empty. "Ethan," I cried, terrified. A small hand grabbed mine from the closet. Ethan's eyes were wide, his voice barely a whisper. "He always does that," he said. "He comes when they leave." Heavy footsteps echoed on the stairs. Daniel's voice followed, singing and mocking. "I can smell your fear, little girl." I grabbed the landline by Ethan's bed, my fingers fumbling as I dialed 911. The dispatcher spoke from the other side, but before I could reply, Daniel busted into the room, blood dripping from his shoulder, where the knife had grazed him. In his hand was a zip tie. "You stupid, stupid girl," he growled, lunging for me. A struggle started. He jumped on me, and we rolled out of the room, moving to the stairs. I kept punching and kicking him, but he was too strong. He dragged me down the rest of the stairs and pounced on me on the hard floor. Just when I thought it was over for me, I heard cop cars. Daniel froze, and I watched the color drain from his face. Who the hell called the cops? He screamed, his pain mixing with anger. I did. I hate you, and I hate mommy and daddy too. I saw Ethan standing on the stairs. He was crying, but when the police dragged Daniel away, Daniel kept yelling how he'd get bail in no time. It turned out there were 6 missing babysitters over 3 years. The Carters were arrested as accomplices. Little Ethan went to foster care, while Daniel got life in prison. But the real justice, I think, was served a week into his sentence when they found him unconscious in his cell, brain bleeding from an old, undetected injury. He lived, but the doctor said he'll never walk again. I visit Ethan sometimes. He still doesn't quite get that he saved my life. One day, when he's older, I bet he'll be proud of himself. It still chills me to the bone thinking about what might have happened, and how close I came to being another one of Daniel's dark secrets. And I still wonder what kind of parents would do that to their own child, let alone to other people. Some mysteries, I guess, are just too scary to solve completely.